What's going on YouTube? Coach Isaac here doing a defensive end field workout straight from the 5-star football package. I'll attach the full workout right here. This is a complete defensive end workout. This is one of my favorite days for the defensive ends. I'm with my boy Peter Emile, class of 26. Boy's got a huge visit to West Virginia next week, or maybe the week after, something like that. But anyways, we're gonna get some work in today and show you guys how to properly hit the field as a defensive end. Gonna work on speed, change of direction, bend, and all of that good stuff that'll get you tons of sacks, make you a ton of plays, just make you a better defensive end. So let's lock in right now. Make sure you follow and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss value, and you get better all off season. Let's get it, let's go. So to start off, we're doing just basic weaving sprints. Again, weaving sprints are just great. Any football player needs to do weaving sprints, work on your ankles, work on your flexibility. It's just gonna be in a 2-point here. Set, go. Just weaving as fast as you can through these, and then finish with little bursts this way. And if these are too tight, we'll adjust it as we go. But go about 85% right now, because again, this is just like any other bend. Like, it's a lot on your ankles, a lot on your knees, so make sure you're warmed up as you're going through this, all right? I do want you to actually sprint. I did have 240s on the map too. Not timed, untimed. Just making sure that you're sprinting, because in the off season, the most important thing you could be doing is sprinting 3 times a week, max effort. Finding a way to sprint. You're gonna get faster, and it's cold out here, so it's definitely not gonna be the perfect time for you to get a 40 right after season, so we're not worried about timing it. Now, I want you to speed it up a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit wider. Make sure you're getting around my cone. You can start like basically right on it. See how they're not very wide now, but I want you to get a burst through that last one and get down there. Say go. Good. And just make sure too, just like you're changing direction ever as a football player, make sure when you're coming around these, you're kind of lowering yourself. It's just gonna make it easier. So as I'm coming around this cone, I'm sinking, and you can even kind of drop that arm a little bit and drop that shoulder, just like you're bending the edge. Dropping that's gonna make that bend just a little bit more easier. Don't try to run through this super tall. Make sure you're getting a good enough bend around here, but also don't make sure you're shortening your stride. Don't chop around these. These are meant for long strides. Stop dragging that foot. Again, I know we're bending here, and this is a weaving run, but you want to make this look to as close as a straight line run as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is just having a good center of gravity. So these cones are off to the side, but my upper body wants to kind of stay in the middle. So as I'm running through these, I'm leaning into it, leaning into it, leaning into it. You see how my stride never breaks? It doesn't matter. I'm just leaning into it, and my stride never breaks right here. So do the same thing, lean into it. Just dip yourself, don't drag your feet. You shouldn't break stride. You wouldn't drag your feet when you're running a 40. The idea of this is to get through it as fast as possible, just like a 40. Last one. So go. Lean into it, lean into it. Yeah, perfect, good stuff, good stuff. And as a football player, it's super important to do these weaving sprints. Doesn't matter if you're a wide receiver, defensive end, quarterback, you're always gonna have to run on some sort of angle and put that ankle into a compromised spot. And doing it full speed with a very slight angle like this is a great way to enhance your overall ability and athleticism as a football player. All right, so let's replace the 40 in this situation with a high run, because you're in shoes and there's no point in getting into a loading phase where you're really focused on driving, because you don't have shoes, you don't have the traction right now. So what we'll do is we'll do a high run. We'll start down here. We'll just do a 20-yard high sprint, and I'll show you what I mean by high sprint here in a second. So a high sprint here, what we're gonna do is a 20-yard high sprint instead of those 40s, because you do have shoes on this situation. So a high sprint, we're focused on the top end speed aspect of the run, focused on good run form here. I don't even need a stance, just a 2 points fine. And then you're staying high. You're not focused on accelerating. You do want to accelerate. You want to get to top end as fast as possible, but you're accelerating from a tall position. So you're here and you're just right into it. I'm tall and just great run form, accelerate through this line, decel on the back end. So you will have a little bit of a driving phase, but it's coming from being tall. And this is really you 20 yards into your 40-yard dash, really hitting that last gear that you got. Staying tall, good run form. Hang on, start tall. Yep, right, just like this.
Oh, I'm not
yep,
at all.
Yep, not football. You're just focused on get to top end speed, stay tall, don't drive. I don't want to see a drive phase. Want good arm action, good run form. Drive your knees, low foot recovery, get through the 20. So go. So this is a great time to work on the low foot recovery, which I was talking about. Because obviously out of your drive phase, you want to make sure that you're not kicking and wasting so much space here. And by a low foot recovery, you're basically pulling, making sure you have faster turnover, not wasting that time. And this is a good time to do it because you're already starting tall. There's not as much knee drive out of your acceleration phase. You're already tall, so you can really focus on getting that foot down and then getting it back up as fast as possible. So low foot recovery, getting into that acceleration phase as fast as possible. Ready? So go. Low foot. Good. So that was really good. I liked how you were doing the low foot recovery. That was good. But you had a slow start here. The low foot's about turnover rate. So you want to have, as soon as that foot hits the ground, you want to pick it back up. So I'm saying no drive phase out of here, but there is a drive phase. I just want you to be tall, and I want you to focus on, as soon as you go, trying to get to 100% as fast as possible with the low foot recovery that you just brought in. So again, you're here, low foot. I'm already gone. Making sure you have fast turnover and just picking that knee up, driving it as fast as possible. You just had a really good rep. Now make that faster. You kind of went like this, your first step, like you were kind of like bounded into it. Get into it now. As soon as that foot hits, go and try to get 100% right now. You got to 100% like right here. I want you to get 100% like 2 or 3 steps in. So go. Good. Good. And this workout was brought to you by the 5-Star Football Package. You can see there's a wonderful gym workout here, the best football workouts on the market, and then there is a wonderful field workout here with a scheduled program in your whole day, and there's about 70 days, there's about 10 weeks of this whole workout program, everything scheduled for you, the best on the market with a nutrition plan as well. To complement all these things, so make sure you check out the 5-Star Football Package. I'll link it in the description below. God bless y'all. Let's get back to it. Form again. We're staying tall here. When you don't have cleats, like, it's better just to stay tall, because if I try to make you bend and do like a 3-cone touch without shoes on, like, that's how your feet are gonna flop out. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna start down here, and this is just a crossover change of direction drill, but it's out of a shuffle. So this is really like kind of surf technique, but I don't want you to think about it as surf technique. I want you to think about, I'm shuffling and then I'm doing a crossover. Should be here, straight on the line. I'm gonna say set, go, shuffle, and then as soon as I say go again, I can say go right here, or I can say go down there. I want you to put your foot in the ground and then turn it into a crossover and go. So it's gonna be like this. Set, go. Go. And then just finish through the line. This is a situation, it's a developmental drill, but it's really good for defensive ends because you're in your surf. Quarterback goes, you gotta put my foot in the ground, crossover now, make a play, all right? So go. Go. Nice. Don't flip your hips though, so what you did, and one, you don't have to, like, I know you're trying to do like a surf technique with that. I just want you to focus on a shuffle right now. Don't technique it right now. What you did is you shuffled, and then I said go, and you turned and ran. I want you to put that outside foot in the ground and drive off and do a crossover while keeping your hips square. The idea of this is to keep your hips square until you get through this line, which is where I want that finish from. But again, it's here, hips are square, go again, plant, drive, hips are still square, now I'm off. So you're staying square, right? Because even if you're in a crossover, that quarterback or whatever the case may be, he could still put his foot in the ground. Then you have to get from a crossover back to a shuffle and then change direction again. Again, this is aggressive change direction, but you have shoes on right now, so like you're not going to be able to change right on a dime. I want you to be high, go, crossover. Really focus on that right there. Decel onto one leg, change of direction into a crossover. Drive that knee over, my hips are still square, finish down the line. So go, go. Good, perfect. Good stuff. Now let's go the other way. If you just played a full football season, right? Your change of direction is not going to be peak where it's at right now. This is developmental. This is why I do this stuff during the winter. So I'm trying to get you back to where you were in the summer in terms of your change of direction. You're probably a lot better now though. So let's do it this way. Same thing. Shuffle, set, go. Putting that outside foot in the ground, hitting a crossover, hip stay square until you get back to this white line. Then you can drive for a couple steps. So go, go. Good. Now all I'm going to say there is just make sure that you flip them when you get back to the white line. You did a good job of keeping in that crossover, but still give me a little bit of a finish. Just make sure that when you do put that foot in the ground, you get back into your crossover, you transition at 100%, and then you get to this line, give me 1-2 hard steps. So go, go. Good. So I really like that shuffle to crossover drill. Great for every position, just great for general change of direction. It doesn't matter what position you play. Again, at some point, you're going to have to shuffle, put that outside foot in the ground, and then get going the other direction. So this is a great workout. I have this in all my positions. I usually start the 5-star full package field workouts with basic speed and agility, and then we get into position-specific stuff, and that's what we're getting into right now. So stay tuned and let's get it. So stutter step drill. Stutter step drill is great for all defensive linemen. Obviously, we're building that 3-step counter. Great for any defensive lineman rush position, really linebackers too. It's going to set up all your rushes. So you're just here, hop feet, flip, accelerating through. You know the drill. Make sure you're getting a good fake, because the 3-step is a waste of time unless you get a good fake here and make the offensive lineman or running back or whoever's blocking you think that you are threatening them inside. That's the whole point of the drill. It's you threatening them one way. Again, if you're a defensive end who keeps getting washed, you need a counter to that. You're going to put that foot in the ground, make him think you're going to go underneath, and then you're going to work back outside. So there you go. Nice. Now just accelerate. Accelerate, accelerate. You just gotta be loose, man. So that whole drill, you were really like, it is a 3-step, but it doesn't matter. I can take 150 steps right here, and then I'm taking this. I can take 200 steps here, and then I can take 1, 2, 3. Right, so I just want you, the purpose of this drill is not to get through it. It's to be loose, to have a good step, make that threat. I'll throw you in some hands to make it a little bit more realistic. So make sure that when you get here, you threaten me here and then work back outside, all right? Loose, loose. Nice, nice, now go. Nice. Loose, light feet. That was good. That was a good hip flip. I don't like the toe drag right there, but that was really good of getting your hips here and then swinging them all the way around. That was really nice. I like that. So again, this solid is right here. I'm really light on my feet. You can't hear my steps. Even when I jab, it's not, it's just, so I go. Light, yep, yep. Good. Yep, yep. Good, now finish. Nice, good stuff, Pete. So now we got W bend drill, just working on that bend. Again, this is really just a tight, this is one of those weaving sprint drills, but now the weave is like super big, but there is a point to this, and the 3-step can be built off of this. So you're in a rush stance, 2-point. I'm running here, and then 1, 2, 3, dropping my shoulder, getting this foot tilted so we can bend, coming up through. 1, 2, 3. And it's really just a fluid motion. Again, it might be a little tight, so like when you're going around these cones, it's building off of that 3-step, so it's really 1, and then you're reaching with that second one, really getting into a lunge, and then you're dropping this arm, dropping it, so dropping that arm out of that lunge, and then just picking my other foot, coming up through, lunge, go. Lunge, go. Lunge, go. So go. Go around the cone, around. Good. Just relax with the toe dragging and have patience. Have patience with it. Again, you're here and that lunge is going to come after the cone, so that make sure you get around it. So the lunge is coming after the cone. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're going, put this foot out and past the cone, and then you'll be able to drop, and that other foot coming around will be easy because then you're already gaining ground. That's where that's going to be built off of. So I go. So there's too many steps. You're getting here and you're kind of like doing like a receiver would. You're trying to cha-cha slide around this. This drill is specifically for defensive line, and this technique is because I would never tell a football player to get in this position right here. It's not good. But as a defensive lineman who's in a really late bend, I'm gonna get in that position, very compromised, but I'm gonna lean into it, drop that shoulder, drop that hand, and then I'm gonna pick it up and throw that toe back around. And what you're doing is you're kind of chop, 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 and then flipping your hips, chop, 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 and flipping your hips. I really want you, when you approach the cone, to slow it down. So instead of jogging to the cone as fast as you can, like get here and then slow it down, and then drop and go. Drop and go. See how that foot's coming out? Every time I get to the cone, that outside foot is coming out. So you didn't even cross the line. That was fine. But again, what you just did there, and I don't want to see this either, is this foot is not turning, right? This foot is turning. You are going from this direction. I'm out here, that foot is pointed forward. I'm still in this direction. It's this back foot out of that drop, which is going to flip. And then as you can see, then that position is what's going to change, and that's what's going to breed a hip flip, right? It's always the toe. That's why we run the hoop. It's always the toe that breeds a hip flip. Toe, and then the hips will come. Lunge out. Good, exactly. Now lunge out. Good, don't rush it. Good, now let's put some speed to it. And again, you can accelerate, and then slow down, and then get into a lunge. Accelerate and slow down, and then get into a lunge. But this is a very rhythmical drill. You'll eventually see, you'll be like, okay, it's taking me 2 steps to get to the cone plus the lunge. It's taking me 3 steps to get to the cone plus the lunge. But when you approach a cone, just make sure you put that foot out in front of the cone, and then and then you're basically just reaching down, touching the cone. Slow it down, get past the cone. Keep the speed. Yep, exactly. Good. Yeah, that's right. You have these cones, and I want you to be tight, but don't be afraid to get past it a little bit. That'll help the whole drill out, versus you trying to get around it as tight as you possibly can. It's not the point. What's going to help you is taking that hand versus just reaching down, taking that hand and throwing it to the ground and dropping it every time. So instead of just going here, taking that hand, dropping it and going, taking the hand, dropping it and going, taking the hand, dropping it and going. It's a constant change of pad level is what it is. And this is a super serious bend. Like this is like you have rushed 4 yards upfield and the tackle's still there and you got to go right now. I'm going to take that big lunge. I'm going to get a crazy bend back to the quarterback. If I'm somebody blocking you over here, why would the quarterback be there? This is specifically a bend drill. Maybe this will help. So go. Get past it. Good, that was better. This is a complicated drill. It took me a lot of sessions, even me, it took me a lot of sessions to learn this, but this is something that you can constantly come out and work on. And again, it is rhythmical. So now you are here, and you were fine, and everything looked good, but you were selling out on this lunge a little bit. So you were short in the stride of this lunge, and then you were just getting up, and it was fine, but it's not as effective as it can be. With that big lunge, you can really get yourself low and really bend extremely effectively. Come right here, and I just want you to go here, down and up. No, look at that foot. Look at how it's turned. I don't want it turned. I want it pointed this way, towards your rush. That's not your foot that you're bending off of. This is the foot you're bending off of. Now lunge. Exactly. Now get there. Now stick that foot out. Now wrap it around. Good. Yeah. That's crazy, but that's how it should be though. That's exactly how it should be. If you can get that lunge, everything else will fall into place because you'll get past the cone and say, oh, I need to go this way, and then that foot's naturally gonna kick there. But if you don't get that big lunge, then this drill is not going to work. You can get past the cone and then lunge. See how far my foot is past the cone? I didn't even take my step until I was that close to it. You know what I mean? You don't have to see the cone coming up and say, oh, lunge right now, because that was what made you short on those. Like, go. Lunge. Lunge. Finish. Good. We'll work on it.
Is it like the 3-step? Like, you know how I couldn't get the 3-step?
They're all 3 steps, but in this situation, it's not a 3-step as in like jab, fake, and now I'm going around. It's just 1, 2, 3. Right, this is a situation where if you're rushing and I set vertically and you're rushing me, the quarterback is, you know, the quarterback's where this blue thing is. You're rushing me and I'm here. You still have outside. All of a sudden, like, you gotta, like, you're past your rush depth. Yeah. Because that's a problem that defensive ends will get themselves into, is they'll rush too far vertical and open up that gap like crazy. But it gets to a point where you're like, okay, like, I've taken, you know, my 3-step get off and this guy's still with me. I gotta sell out now, huge drop, and now I'm just bending up and around. You know, does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
We're just gonna do a basic athletic 4-cone finisher. So what I want you to do, starting this yellow line, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna be back there, obviously directing where to go. Set, go. Sprinting up, getting into the 4 cones, and I'm gonna be up here, either touch and get back, and then touch, get back, flip, yeah. I want you to touch my cone though. That's the key. If you don't touch my cone, I'm gonna be mad.
Why, am I catching the ball?
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do, like drop back?
No, I'm gonna say finish. I'm gonna say finish. I'm gonna say finish. Just break down. So go. Back there. Here. Back there. Back there. Back there. Here. Good. All right, one more rep and we're out of here. So go, get down, get up. Back here. Back there. Over there. Over there. Here. Back there. Down here. Back there. Touch my cone. Down here. Touch my cone. Back over here. Good. Well, that'll wrap it up, YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be working with Peter a lot, so a lot of DN content coming at you, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure that you know that all these videos are dropping. God bless y'all. Have a good night. Salute.